Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from Global Chamber Austin. I am Stephanie Austin. I'm your Executive Director for Global Chamber Austin. We thank you guys from across the world, those who are here with us, joining us today on Global Chamber Austin. We truly appreciate everyone being here with us today and joining us, and either joining us later and viewing our meeting today. Today, I would like to a special guest that we have here today, which is our board chair, Andrew Rauch. Great partner, great partner, and I wouldn't say crime, but in accomplishing goals for our organization. And he's such a pleasure to work with. Global Chamber is an organization. We're in 525 metros and in 195 countries. And when I was speaking with the other Andrew, he asked about, are we in Korea, South Korea? And the answer is that yes, I believe we are. And I told him I would schedule time with him to share more about our metro areas. Am I breaking up? Because it seemed like something glitched on my end. Is everything great? Wonderful. Okay. Well, without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to our board chair, Andrew Rauch. Andrew.
Hey, Stephanie, thank you. And thank you for everybody. Thank you for everybody joining today. Very excited about the topic, age tech. I think it's going to be a really solid one. So
can't see you, Andrew. Only half of your face is showing.
Okay. Well, it's the better half. So, okay.
Okay. Just so I let you know. I didn't know if you knew. Okay.
Thank you. I'll stop sharing in just a minute, but again, welcome everybody. So I think we've got a good agenda and topic for us. So today, the global topic that we're going to discuss is age tech, where technology meets the aging population. So we've got Debbie Howard is going to be leading that conversation, and she'll bring Andrew Chang, who's here in Austin, but traveling to New York, I understand. So Andrew, thank you for joining us. So good conversation on that topic. And then we'll be following up with a little bit of an Austin chapter perspective with Kelly Flowers. Kelly's going to be talking a little bit about women in technology right on the heels of Mother's Day. So happy belated Mother's Day to all those that are on this call. And lastly, we'll close it out with Doug Brenke, founder of the Global Chamber, with some final remarks. So again, welcome everybody. Just to give you a perspective of who the advisory board for Austin is, just a quick snapshot for those that are on the call. Thank you. Thank you for all the hard work that you do to press into Austin and make the Global Chamber successful and growing. And with that being said, let me just do an introduction to Debbie, and then Debbie, if you wouldn't mind, as you go, do an introduction with or for Andrew Chang. So Debbie's been on the advisory board with us here in Austin, helping lead the way. She is an age tech expert. She began this journey in the 80s with her experience in Asia and specifically in Japan. And I believe 2007, she had a personal experience caregiving for her mom, which kind of also led into this journey. Since then, she's a two-time author with the Caregiving Crisis and Caregiving Journey books. So she's going to bring some of that to the table as well. So a global caregiving crisis specialist. She has a passion for amplifying and providing caregiving support. And part of this conversation today is, how does technology fit into that? She is also the chair of the Carter Group, a Tokyo-based marketing company. And then, as I mentioned, speaker, author, and founder of Aging Matters International, the caregivingjourney.com site and the caregivingcrisis.com site. So with all those accolades, Debbie, you needed to hit it out of the park today, okay?
Okay, I'll do my best, Andrew. Thank you so much for your kind introduction.
You bet. It's all you.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you all for joining us today. This is a really, the best market sector I have ever seen in my entire career. And I've been working for over 40 years, so I think that counts. And I also work in a field, market research, where we see a lot of market sectors day in and day out. And I've been working in this sector for over 10 years. I was inspired, as Andrew mentioned, by my own caregiving experience with my mom, which sent me out into the world to do 200 caregiver interviews and write a book, and then write a second book for companies, how to help their employees who are caregiving for older adults. So along the way, I've been able to really focus on age tech product and service development for our company in Japan, which is how we came to be involved in the Global Chamber in the first place, back before COVID. And so we've done lots of webinars about Japan in general, and also on the caregiving front and onward into age tech. I don't want to go off on Japan because that's a whole other webinar, but I just want you to know that I came to be aware of this area and how important it is through my exposure in Japan to the rapidly aging population there, which is we have 30% of the population in Japan aged 65 plus right now. So we call it the world's real-time laboratory for age tech. And that we have a white paper from my company that I can share with you. We are involved in staging events there to make sure that the awareness is very high for this. And we're also involved in the Age Tech Track Content organization this autumn in mid-October for a conference in Tokyo, in Nagoya, called Independent Aging Expo and Conference. So just trying to be involved in this global world of age tech development. I'm kind of like a cheerleader because I spend and have the great opportunity to spend 4 months a year in Japan and the rest of the time in Wimberley, Texas, near Austin. Actually, I should also thank COVID, because COVID grounded me and made me have to look at other ways of being involved in the world, as it did for all of us. And during COVID, I became involved in Clubhouse and a show called Age Friendly Product Alliance, which I know Wayne Crawley has been on and Andrew Chang has been on. And through that show, which is co-hosted by AARP, we are able to promote the world of age tech and products and services that help aging adults and those who care for them. So I'm involved in quite a lot of things, but it all comes back to age tech and aging and longevity and caregiving, if you will. That's the glue that holds all the things that I do together. And as I was becoming more involved in the Global Chamber, and I realized last year that the Austin chapter was starting up, and I was so pleased to be asked to be a global advisor for the Austin chapter, because it all gets very local when we're talking about longevity and aging and caregiving. And I certainly, being somebody who is physically based here, 8-9 months a year, want to help put Austin and Texas on the map for age tech. I mean, I just see this as an amazing opportunity. And that's, in part because Austin is so hot on the tech front. And I started just poking around a little bit in my own home territory, and I saw, wow, there's so much more activity in Austin than I even thought. And then if I expand that wider to Texas, it really becomes pretty impressive very quickly. I was very happy when I met Andrew through Clubhouse. Not only does he have a fantastic age tech product to tell you about today, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it when I introduce Andrew, but not only does he have that great product, but he is also working for a Korean company that is based in Austin now. And Andrew has a few thoughts for us about how more other age tech and tech companies are coming to Austin. And I think we all kind of know that Austin is a pretty hot spot for tech, but Dallas is as well, Plano. I mean, we actually have some real riches in Texas when it comes to tech and age tech specifically. So that's the idea today, is just to look a little bit about this area as a growth area and think about how we as an Austin chapter may be able to help amplify some of the efforts that are going on. So we'll just make it a really casual, friendly meeting, and we'd love to hear what everyone has to say about that. Andrew, I'd like to introduce you now to say a few words about H Robotics and your Rebless product. Andrew's product, I'm going to give you the sound bites because I have those from Clubhouse, but I think the Rebless product does more than what I'm going to say right here. But one of the main uses is that, let's say you have a knee surgery, and we know that there are shortages in occupational therapists. So it's very difficult to be compliant with the rehab, the rehabilitation that goes on following a surgery. The Rebless product is a robotics inspired product that actually helps a knee surgery patient to remain compliant with all the rehab they have to do. And that helps occupational therapists. It helps the healing process. And Andrew, I know you're going to fill in the blanks for me, but I'm just really impressed with Andrew's product, and they have more products than just Rebless. So Andrew, I'm going to turn it over to you now. This is a really, age tech is a big area, and it can really affect every part of our lives. It could be rehabilitation, which is what Andrew's going to talk about, but it can also get into social and communication and prevention of isolation. It can get into telehealth. It can get into financial management, all kinds of areas here. So really everything that people do, they actually keep doing it as they get older. So we need to think about it that way from a product development area. So Andrew, with that, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you for the great introduction, Debbie. I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me now. Perfect. So you talked about there's a very big problem in Japan about aging population. And it's certainly a problem in many of the Asian countries, and especially that's the problem in South Korea as well. So right now, if you look at the current snapshot of the country, I would say probably Japan has higher portion of the aged population, but the rate of acceleration of these people getting older is actually much worse in South Korea. And there's also a problem with the newborn babies. The rate is dropping at us certainly a astounding rate in Korea. So that's a huge issue, social issue in South Korea. And that's part of the reason why South Korean government actually have decided that the aging technology and also medical digital technology is one of the core area that the government will be really focusing on developing in South Korea market. And when you look at the South Korea market, before we go into H Robotics and Rebless, I just want to have a holistic perspective of why we decided to come to the US and how the Korean government is funding these programs right now. Korea, although it's a now pretty well-known country, 12th in terms of the global GDP, but when you look at Korea, it's such a small country. So when you look at South Korea in the map of the world, you can actually fit about 7 South Korea just within Texas state alone. So it's an incredibly small country. So when we're building a company in Korea, the first thing we think about, even before, a lot of the companies are focused on going global because we know the Korean market, it can be very limited. And we're seeing a lot of the companies being very successful in doing so, such as Samsung Electronics and LG Electronics, Hyundai, and Kia, those companies. And having those companies in Austin is definitely a lot of help for companies like us to decide to join that journey in Texas. So that's part of the reason why the aging tech is such a big market and in Korea that is also being fueled by these government-driven initiatives. So when we decided to build a company, H Robotics, we actually started company back in 2018 in South Korea, but the history of the company goes much longer than that. So we had another company, Harmonic Bionics, that started in Austin in 2015. And that was actually one of the study and one of the research that the PhD student of University of Austin student was doing. And it's an upper extremity exoskeleton wearable robot. It looks incredibly cool. And the product is called Harmonic FHR. And when that Harmonic Bionics was building that product, we realized that there are over 100 physical therapy clinics in Austin area alone. And out of those 100 plus therapy clinics, there are only 1 or 2 therapy clinics that are carrying these robotic devices for rehab. And obviously, this is an incredibly powerful technology, incredibly beneficial for the patients, both aging and also young population as well. The clinical study is just clearly out there that this machine can be very beneficial for the patient. But the fact of the reality is that these technology are very limited in terms of patient access to this technology. So what we have decided to do is we decided to build another company called H Robotics. So now we're going into H Robotics. But instead of making it a very expensive robot that only the clinic can afford, we decided to build something that's more affordable, portable, something that can be used at our home too. So Debbie, when you explained that this is a technology that can be used after post-surgery, so that the patients can follow through at home for those exercise protocol, that's absolutely right. Another aspect of using robotic devices is that everything that the patients do at home using this device is captured. So that data is not only for the patient themselves, but also can be shared with the clinicians and the physicians as well. So they're actually able to use those data to build a personalized recovery program so that the patients can follow at home. So instead of having a piece of paper that says, hey, these are the 3 weeks program that you need to follow at home, now the physicians have absolutely everyday data of how the patient's recovering. So based on the data, they can tweak the protocol so that that becomes the personalized recovery program for each individual patient. So that's the product that we developed. It is called Rebless. The product has received 2 CES Innovation Awards, and we received 2 of the most prestigious design awards so far. So one is IDEA Awards, and we're just waiting for the Red Dot Design Award to receive for this year. So crossing our fingers for that. But what's the reason that we started to build a company out of Austin? And first of all, we have already a partner company who's already doing a business in Austin called Harmonic Bionics. And the reason they started the business in Austin is because there's abundant amount of people, the resources, who are very talented in developing not only software, but especially in the robotic side. So traditionally, I think, pharma and bio, the East Coast used to be the hotbed for those type of medical innovations. But when it comes to software and robotics, we're seeing a lot of the companies are benefiting from the talents that we have in Austin. Those top talent people coming out from the good university systems in this area is definitely fueling a lot of the technology-oriented, especially the robotics and AI and VR companies. So that was the primary reason why we decided to open up a company here. But also the manufacturing facilities. So when it comes to, there's talents coming out from California, coming out from the East Coast as well. But when it comes to actually doing a business, having a manufacturing facilities and hiring those people to manufacture those facilities, the cost benefit of having a location in Texas is far better than having the factories in anywhere else. And I think that's probably part of the reasons why we're seeing a lot of these companies joining a bandwagon of coming to Texas to start their business or moving their headquarters to Texas right now. So we're part of the companies who decided to come to Austin and Texas for that reason, for the cost effectiveness of having a manufacturing facility here. And another reason that we decided to have an office here And more companies like us is deciding to have an office in Austin and Texas area, especially in this rehab tech and technology, AI or aging tech, is because this market is still at its infancy. The technology looks very cool, but we have only seen robots being introduced in this market, in this sector, probably just a few years ago. So it's at a very infancy. So we see a lot of foreign countries trying to invest in this technology, but there isn't a single company yet that have very successfully commercially made this business model work just yet. And part of that reason is because it's still a very early stage, and a lot of the business is very focused on manufacturing a single unit of those age tech machines, instead of having a more collaborative and overarching business model with the different technologies all coming together in harmony. So what we are doing is, instead of competing with each other in these different technology companies, we have actually decided to collaborate with each other. So having Harmonic Bionics, H Robotics in Austin is giving those companies in Korea sort of an opportunity to test out their product. So we're actually working with a few different companies out of South Korea right now who are interested in launching their product into the US market. But because we already have a presence here, instead of having those companies having to open up another subsidiary or company in other parts of the US, we're actually collaborating with those companies so that we can test out those products for them. So that has become a very good partnership with these different companies. And the benefit of doing that is, because it's a very early stage industry, not many products are actually competing with each other. So a lot of the products are actually complementing each other too. So it's actually very beneficial for many of these companies, including ourselves, to collaborate with each other. And that's the number 2 reason why we decided to, why Austin is becoming such a popular place for opening a rehab tech and technology, aging tech companies. And, and lastly, I would like to just add, Austin, coming from somebody who used to live in San Francisco and Chicago and Seoul, Austin is a place that a lot of the young people and business-minded people wants to go to start up their business and have a relaxed life as well. So that's part of the main reason why a lot of the companies are deciding to come to the Austin too. So, well, I'm very glad to be part of this discussion today, but if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you so much, Andrew. I'm fascinated. You even filled in some things I hadn't heard yet. So I love the story of resources being here. Always love to hear collaboration. That's one of the things I've noticed in this industry, that because it is so new, many of us work together in ways that I never have seen in the business world.
Absolutely true.
And that's a really wonderful energy around the sector, I think. And I'd like to also mention, I think you mentioned CES, the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas. I just wanted to mention that to everyone else as a point of reference, because the AARP, Age Tech Collaborative, has been growing in its presence there at CES every year. And this year in January, when they held CES, they took 19 startups to CES. I think you were one of them, right, Andrew?
We actually had our own this time, but yeah, I've seen those 19 companies, fascinating products.
Yes. And so this is a really, it's just a really hot area that we really wanted everyone here to know about and be able to think about, what can we do with this? Stephanie, hand is up.
Yes, Andrew, thank you so much for sharing a lot of the wealth of knowledge that, as Debbie mentioned, I wasn't aware of, but I'm very excited and I have some questions regarding Is your robotic called Blessed?
It's called, the name of the company is called H Robotics, and the name of the product is actually called ReBless. So we wanted to say, we want to bless your life again with the mobility and
Yes, that's great. I love that name. It caught my attention when I heard it. I was like, I would like to know the name behind that. So real quick, in regards to interfacing with other healthcare organizations, are you guys able to interface with their EMR systems so the data can be at hospitals or either at clinics, or how do you guys get that data to the providers or the hospitals for them to have it?
That's a great question. So that's certainly something that's under work right now. So right now we have a platform of our own, so they can actually export the data out and import it into the EMR system they use. Right now, two separate systems there they need to use, but in the future, those systems will be integrated to each other.
Okay, and then the other question I have in regards to the payers, the insurance payers, have you partnered with them? Are they willing to pay? I mean, I know it usually takes a while before new technology is approved, then eventually where are you guys in that phase?
So that's a great question as well. So when we launched this first product, ReBless, we looked into the market, and there were a couple different strategies we could use. One is utilizing the code that's already existing, or two, apply for the new code. We decided that there is already a code that we can start utilizing right away and start commercializing the product. So it can be reimbursed after total knee arthroplasty or certain ACL cases. So it can be reimbursed after those post surgeries. We're still working on getting the reimbursement for the neural side, but as more companies are, building the clinical studies and clinical data, I think that's going to come around pretty soon.
Have you seen reimbursement from Medicare? Because that's where our seniors hang out at this point. Are you seeing reimbursement? Great.
Absolutely. Yep.
Austin is the place. There's so much going on in Austin, and it's a great place for entrepreneurs. Is a great place to. It doesn't have that hustle and bustle. You still want to do a great job and provide great service, but it has a balance. And then having the technology and all the companies coming from California and other places in Texas, as well as Austin, has been very beneficial to many tech companies. So we're really excited about that. And thank you so much for sharing today.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Do we have
Debbie,
any? Yeah, go ahead.
You want to open it up to some questions or some additional questions for you and Andrew?
Absolutely. Does anyone have any questions for Andrew or I? Really, really appreciate you all being here. Whoa, it's a quiet group. Right. Well, if something comes to your mind as we're talking, please feel free to jump in there. I would like to just mention a few other points about other Texas companies that are involved in age tech, just to give you an idea. And I'm putting a number of links in the chat here. I'd like to, the first one is Andrew's company. And then I'm just going to talk about these companies just a little bit, but I just want you to have a sense of the range of some of the companies that are here, even just with like a 30-minute, LinkedIn excursion, right? We have Helper Bees, which some of you may have heard about. They're probably one of the most visible companies in Austin, offering support to companies in terms of managing those payments and things like that. And I think they have quite a wide range of services there, and it's all it's basically all AI and online driven. Caraloop is another company out of Dallas that is a platform that a company can buy as a benefit for their working employees who are also caregivers. So employees can receive coaching and advice and planning advice and all that sort of thing. That company's out of Dallas. And I met Caraloop way back in the early, the mid 2000s at a caregiving conference. And then we have Mind VR out of Plano, which actually boast the largest library of senior-friendly virtual reality content and new releases every month. And what that means is that, let's say you are an older person struggling with disability or maybe a limited ability to go out in the world, Mind VR can help you to travel to other places without leaving your physical space. And
Wow.
really, well, even to go to weddings, for example, in Italy, where you might not be able to go. So there's a lot of really interesting things happening there. I would also like to mention Lori Miller, who was kind enough to join us on short notice from Apple Companion Care and Companion. Lori, would you like to say a few words about your service?
Sure. Thank you so much, Debbie. I appreciate that. Well, we have a non-medical home care, traditional non-medical home care agency in Dallas that I started in 2006. And we provide hands-on care or in companionship, socialization, all of that for older adults. So it's Apple Care and Companion is the very low-tech, personal caregivers side of things. We utilize technology in the background, of course. And then what I think caught your attention about me was the new project that we have called Age Tech Now. And what it is, I've been interested in the technology side for many years, and I would find something that sounded or hear about something that sounded so great for one of my clients, and then I would go check it out and it's not available. And so many things are not available to the consumer. It's either available through assisted living or it's available through, a company, but not available directly to the consumer. So I kind of set out a few months ago to find products and services that were business to consumer and that are available now. So much of, even at the CES show, so much of that is available, hopefully in the future. Even AARP awards all these grants and money and awards and all this kind of stuff, but it's for products that aren't quite available yet. So when you look into all the fantastic Age Tech kind of services and products, when you drill down, a lot of them aren't available yet. So my mission is to just have this kind of website database listing of products that are available to the consumer or services, apps or whatever, that they can purchase today to help their caregiving, whether it's the family or the older adults, or as I'm a baby boomer, and as we age, I'm at the lower end of the baby boomer, but still we're pretty comfortable with technology now, I would say, and it's only I think most people are comfortable with it, whether I'm wearing my Fitbit now, I'm going to have no problem wearing sensor tracking stuff either, because I'm already tracked by Fitbit and everything else. So I think that's only going to increase. And I know a lot of people, even older adults, are pretty comfortable now with technology because of the pandemic and Zoom and using, I can't say it, but ALEXA. She's sitting right next to me, so I don't want to have her go off. But I think there's no place to find things. And even when you look at I think Best Buy is trying to do a consumer way to do it, but it's all very broad and it's all very big, and there's so much out there that's very niche that I want to hopefully help some of these smaller companies have an audience and find their way without having to go through some of these other options. There, that's a little bit about me. So thank you so much. I put the two websites in the chat. So I'd love to connect with everybody on LinkedIn as well, and hear what your thoughts are on the Age Tech Now website.
Excellent. That's great, Lori. We can definitely help you. I definitely know some companies I can refer your way. So that sounds great. And I'd like to a couple of other of our guests. Wayne Crawley is from Little Rock, Arkansas, if I'm not mistaken. And I met Wayne through our Clubhouse Age Friendly show as well. And Wayne has an amazing product line called Novare. So Novare, you'll see that in the links collection that I put there. Wayne, I'm going to let you tell us a little bit about your product line.
Oh, wow.
Thanks. I appreciate that, Debbie. We are researching and bringing.
Can I just preface that with, we know you're not from Austin or Texas, but this is the Global Chamber. And one of the great things about the Global Chamber is that we can gather from all over the world. And Doug's going to talk a little bit more about that at the end. So Wayne, with that.
Yes, thanks. That's a great point. And I think it's important that, you know, the support worldwide that comes together for such a very important topic on age tech. We are developing and bringing to market fully accessible wall cabinets. So imagine your kitchen cabinet that lowers down to be easily accessible for a person with reduced shoulder abduction or sarcopenia. We also have a different product that is lowered, is designed to be installed in the laundry room that lowers from 72 inches down to 3 feet above the floor for people with wheelchairs. So we have two basic designs, and you can see renderings of our product concepts on our website, novair.biz. We were very fortunate to last week, I believe it was, Debbie, to be awarded the 2023 Caregiver Friendly Award in the product category. So we're very excited about that. I have been also, I haven't told anyone yet, Debbie, been asked to come to the 2023 Tech Connect conference in Washington, D.C. to present our products there as well. So we are very much looking forward to continuing our search. We put together a consortium of engineers and assistive technology experts, and are looking forward to getting some grant funding to move forward to bring these products to market. And, you know, to the point of consumerization, that's a very true statement. There are products similar to this out there in the world, but none that offer the price point of a consumerized product, none that offer the support channels of a consumerized product. Our model is a consumer model. And so we hope to make these very affordable, very usable, and of course, applying the best practices of universal design. Thanks for letting me talk a little bit about these things. This is great. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here, Wayne. And Lothar, I don't know if you would like to say a few words. I see that you're in the healthcare medical area as well. It looks to me like it's not a far bridge of what you do into age tech. We can't hear you. Can you unmute, Lothar?
Okay, now that worked.
Yeah,
I'm with ZG Worldwide. We're a multi-specialty group that offers experts in IT, business, healthcare, and marketing. And we have a number of healthcare people. I'm headquartered in Springfield, Illinois, but we have people all over the world, in Poland and Florida and all over Europe. At any rate, we have experts such as, we have an MD who knows wireless handheld ultrasound devices deeply. So if you have questions, you know, he's an expert in that. He does healthcare management consulting. We have another MD in international healthcare systems, and we have some public health experts. So, you know, we have many people. And as far as age tech, we have a lot of healthcare kinds of technology all over central Illinois, like in Peoria and Champaign. It seems to be a growing thing in many parts of the country. Peoria has a large new healthcare development center, the jump something or other center, with a lot of MDs and PhD kinds of people. So, you know, if you need any assistance with anything, we can help you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lothar. Yes, and Stephanie, is this a good chance for you to introduce Kelly Flowers?
Absolutely. Yes, we'd like to introduce Kelly Flowers. She is the CEO and founder of WLT, Women Leading Technologies, and also Women Leading Technology Sorority. She has a wealth of experience. She pours into young girls. She has a STEAM program, STEAAM. I won't steal her thunder and glory and all that she's going to share about STEAM, but she just did a 12-week program with these young girls, and it is phenomenal. So without further ado, I will turn it over to you, Kelly, and you can tell them more about your business, because she does more than just what I just said.
Thank you, Stephanie. Yes, thank you, everyone. I'm happy to be here. Once again, Kelly Flowers from Women Leading Technology. but I also have a global technology consulting company as well. And so basically with our Women Leading Technology, we're all about pouring back into the community, but most importantly, we're all about paying it forward to young girls to be able to have hands-on experiences in science, technology, engineering, arts, architecture, and mathematics. Well, we're preparing them for the future to be able to come and work for individuals like yourself, to be innovative. Lastly, I actually, with our global technology consulting company, what I would like to talk about when it comes to age tech is more in lines of cybersecurity, because as we know, seniors are always targeted, and they're most targeted when it comes to cyber threats. So they're the ones that are actually being sought out when they go online, purchasing things online, individuals contacting them to get them to click on different links, and they're the ones who are hacked the most and who are, taken advantage of the most. And so I think it's very important for seniors to be educated on the internet, and even when they're utilizing their phones. And so what we do is we actually help companies to find right solutions, because we still have working seniors, believe it or not. And so they need to be educated on what not to do. And so what we do is we help not to just educate companies on how to keep their companies protected, but we're also here to help individuals and senior citizen, facilities that actually let seniors use the computers and all of that, because it puts their company in jeopardy. It puts them at risk when you actually allow them to use the internet, and they have different things that may come on there they're just unaware of that looks tantalizing. The next thing you know, they clicked on it, and now the entire company is in jeopardy. So it's important for them to understand safe ways to be able to utilize the internet and keep everyone safe, including themselves. And so there are a lot of free programs that are offered out there that they would actually come out and, teach the seniors, give them training on how to utilize the internet safely. Palo Alto is one of them. They offer free training to senior citizens. Then you have Allstate. Believe it or not, Allstate has a free program for senior citizens to teach them about the cybersecurity threats and things of that nature. So it's a lot of free resources that are out there that people can utilize to help to keep them safe. You can use them for your home use. You can also use them for your businesses. So what we do is just really just help you guys to figure out how we can help your business. We do other things outside of helping the seniors, but this was mostly pertaining to the age tech today. But WOT, Unlimited, we can help you with anything in regards to technology when it comes to your business, whether you need a call center solution, whether you need to be in the cloud, whether you need to, you need telecom, whatever it is that you need service-wise for your business, we're able to help bring those right solutions to you to help to pivot your business forward. And we are global, but we're based here in Dallas. That's me in a nutshell. And I'll put my information to both organizations. I'll put the link to both of our websites in the chat.
One thing I did fail to mention that Kelly Flowers is also on our advisory board here in Global Chamber Austin. So she's one of our advisory board members, and we appreciate all the energy and knowledge that she brings to our organization.
Thank you for that, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, Kelly. Stephanie, you want to introduce Doug and we can wrap it up?
Absolutely. So Doug Brunke, he is the CEO and founder of Global Chamber. He has made the dreams come true for so many large organizations and entrepreneurs. And he didn't pay me to say any of these things for him. These are things that's just coming from the heart. He is definitely a great person to work with, to partner with, and just to learn from knowledge base. He is world travel, actually going to different places and being able to experience different places that other people share with him. He's here to always help Global Chamber move forward. And how do we forge forward on? How do we go forward? And I just want to introduce Doug Brunke. He is our CEO and founder, and he makes things happen. I don't think he sleeps. I think he's awake 24 hours. So Doug, you're up.
I guess I should unmute. Thank you so much, Stephanie, and thank you all. I do sleep, and I'm just very passionate in support of all of you and all of our members around the world. I believe that global is good, and that when we get together collectively, that the village that we create in doing that makes things go faster, allows us to have more impact. You know, one of the takeaways for me today is to listen to some of what you've said, and it reminds me a little bit of so many industries that are relatively fragmented in the beginning. You know, it's huge opportunity, right? And then, you know, leaders pull together different pieces of it, and it doesn't quite come together until, you know, some monster of a company comes in and kind of pulls it all together years later. But hopefully in the meantime, we all can make some money and make people's lives better. And really, fundamentally, that's what we're talking about here. A little bit different than so many other industries. This one has direct impact on people's lives. I think of Reiko, who's our member in Honolulu, who does senior design of facilities. And I love the way she approaches her designs to give the respect that old people need and should and deserve, quite honestly. I think of my grandmother, who passed away at age 99, but her last 10 years she needed help in an assisted living care, and you know, got to visit her almost every month. And she fought it in the beginning because it wasn't respectful in her mind, that she wasn't ready to turn out the lights, you know, and give up on life. She wanted to live, and she eventually got to it. And these are some of the issues, right, that we face in the healthcare decisions, the assisted living conditions, the home care conditions that both apply stress to home givers, the ones that are giving the home care, and the people who are getting the care. There's so many different factors that are very personal, along with so many opportunities. So congratulations to all of you for making progress. This is an area that's a huge market. It's got a lot of different areas, including the assisted living, healthcare, design of products, design of services, the retirement and travel. And I think part of why Austin seems to make sense is Austin is a great location for retired people to head into Mexico and Latin America. I don't think there's very many that go to places like Portugal or other places around the world, but that's probably where the Global Chamber can hopefully impact by broadcasting and connecting what you're doing to other people around the world, that people who are involved with the elder care markets in Korea, in Japan, in Europe, across Asia, you know, can be better equipped, better knowledgeable about what some of these options are, and take advantage of some of these things so that their elders within their family are better taken care of in more respectful ways. So thank you so much, all of you. I would like to suggest that, similar to some other industries like the semiconductor industry and aerospace and automotive and technology, that age tech be a segment that we within Global Chamber look at on a regular basis, and bring people in from around the world to talk about what people are doing, what some of the challenges are, and what more and more of the opportunities are, so that we can support each other and move businesses forward, but again, move people's lives forward. So thank you, Stephanie, and to Andrew and to Debbie for your leadership in this area and pulling us together. Debbie is unbelievable. She's got her marketing research company, Carter Group. And so she's been so involved. One of my biggest regrets in life is having lived in Japan at the same time as Debbie and not knowing her. It was like, oh my God, how could that even happen? But I was in this little dirty area of Tokyo called Gotanda, and she was probably in a highfalutin, expensive place somewhere downtown Tokyo. So I was in a different kind of a world, So I regret that, but I'm very happy and pleased that we can collaborate and work here and support each other. And we're always in for supporting Debbie, whether it's in Japan, whether it's in Texas, or whether it's anywhere in the world. Congratulations, Debbie, on all that you do. And Andrew, in a similar way, gotten to know you and your leadership. Congratulations on what you're doing. The more I read about improving and what you guys are doing and acquiring, it's just so impressive. The relationship with improving really started with iTexico and my MBA buddy, Anurag Kumar, who he himself has some challenges within his family with health, and has had to step away quite a bit and focus in on other areas, which again goes back to really what we're talking about here, right? This whole industry has so many needs, and there are so many people struggling with and dealing with so many of these issues that, we should be making it easier. We should be having more empathy for what these needs are. We need to have more empathy for the people as well. And so the systems and the services and the products going forward, there's just a huge need. So Andrew, thank you for your technology leadership and your sales leadership and your support and collaboration. And Debbie, all of the work you do in age tech and in marketing research, and the Renaissance woman there on the farm in Texas and in Japan. And hopefully we can connect up while you're in Japan in June as well. Stephanie, back to you. Thanks for the opportunity to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Doug. Thank you so much. So you've heard from our fearless leader. Global Chamber is known about warm connections. How do we connect people? And because we're in 525 metros, 195 countries, we have executive directors in many of the states, we're able to connect one another. And that's the beauty of it. And the beauty, again, it's a global number. It doesn't matter what time of day we have connections in Tokyo, connections in Africa, connections in Puerto Rico. Cesar, who's our VP, he's in Puerto Rico, Mexico, all over the world. And that's what I love about this. And Doug, I agree with you. Age tech should be similar to having their own series, because there's so much. And our baby boomers, they're retiring like 10,000s per day. And Lori Miller, would love to connect with you and Andrew Chang, but I have a passion for seniors. The home care business is not enough. Some of the challenges that I've heard lately is just finding the right staff, hiring the right people, and sustaining them and keeping them, and compensation. And so there's just so much in the healthcare industry, especially surrounding our seniors, that we need to get a hold of, because guess what? We're going to be there next. So how do we solve some of the issues so that when we get there? Would love for you guys to click on the link in there. I put it in the chat, Global Chamber Austin, to be so we can have some further discussions. I'll reach out to you. I put my contact information there as well, so I can share with you some more of the beautiful benefits of being part of Global Chamber. Oh, someone put, this is a hot topic in Puerto Rico, one of the most aging. Oh, I think is that Cesar? I believe that's Cesar. Cesar, say something. Where are you, Cesar? You can speak. Come on. He's our VP of operations with Global Chamber. He's Doug's Batman and Robin.
Hi, Stephanie. I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna keep the camera off because the kids are off school now, and so I just wanted to say hi and say hi to Debbie and Andrew as well. It's been a while. It's a very interesting conversation here in Puerto Rico. Everything is about it. Everyone, when they're talking, the politicians, education sector, everyone is talking about the issues of aging population, and we have some particular reasons why. Not only because of the people not having kids, it's just because there's a lot of people that's moving to the States, and so the island is just left behind with the old people. So that's an interesting topic.
Yes. Well, thank you. Cesar, as I mentioned, he's our VP of operations. He's in Puerto Rico. So thank you so much. I will turn it back over to you, Debbie and Andrew.
Thank you so much. I know we're almost to the top of the hour or the bottom of the hour. I just would like to thank everybody once again for coming, and let's make this happen. I'll be here as global advisor to the Austin chapter. I'm happy to serve as the central point. If you have any ideas or suggestions about things that you might like to see us do, we can do all kinds of things with the Global Chamber. We can do what we call globinars like this, where we bring together people and showcase companies. We can pick a certain sector within age tech and focus on that, because it is quite wide. So we also have the League of Extraordinaries at the Global Chamber, where age tech companies could actually pitch their ideas. So that happens on a monthly basis. So there's lots of things that we can do at the Global Chamber to help rev up and amplify this, the awareness and the participation and the collaboration, as Andrew mentioned. I love it that this is a space where, you know, there's a real social need. So, and that gets into Andrew Rauch's business of conscious capitalism, which I really, really applaud and support. And one of the reasons I'm involved in this is because it makes me feel rewarded to be working in something that is actually helping people. So that's it for me today. I'm really, really thankful to you all for coming and for having this nice conversation. And let's just keep it going. Andrew?
All right, Debbie, awesome. Thank you. You did knock it out of the park. Thank you so much, together with Andrew, the other Andrew. So Andrew, thank you. Doug, thank you for your leadership for the Global Chamber. Keep pressing. Stephanie, as always, thank you for your leadership for Austin and our board. Thank you. And for those that are attending, really appreciate you. Have a good rest of the day. Take care.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Thank you. Nice to meet you guys.
Thank you.
So much. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Laurie.
Thanks, Debbie.